had asked, like in our school, we have adopted Office 365 for education, and we are using Microsoft Teams for online teaching. And we are also using various tools for assessing children objectives and both subjective also. We are using OneNote to conduct assignments for subjective examinations, so that the children will be trained before the exams. And also various tools where we help students to organize their work and to express their creativity and to collaborate among themselves and to exhibit critical thinking skills. So all these things are happening. But as you said, like not all teachers, so I'm training them in periodically. Once in 2 weeks, I will conduct training session for my in-school teachers and train them one tool, so that the 2 weeks they will be using the tool, they will get comfortable and students will start using, and then we go ahead with the next tool. So that practice we are following in our school.
Yeah, pretty much. So, when I was talking to Kaushal about having these EdTech webinar series, so we were also wondering whether we should have it one after the other in a series and finish it, or should we give educators some time, like a week's time, and have a WhatsApp group to handhold and, discuss queries. And then from Sunday to Sunday, every week, we get a chance to practice every new tool that we are learning. So that's the reason why we kept it Sunday to Sunday, so that, we are able to gather, educators who are really, really interested in learning the tools that we discuss, rather than just attending webinars one after the other and then just completely forgetting about what needs to be done. So thank you so much for sharing what your school is doing, and thank you so much for being here today on a Sunday evening. It's raining out here, and yes, before the internet connectivity plays around, let's start with the session. Yeah.
Sure. Start my screen now?
Yep.
I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, let me minimize all these things. Looks like 2 people, they are in the waiting room.
Yeah, I will take care of that.
Yeah. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be part of this Teachers Help Teacher organization and EdChat India and conduct this session on Flipgrid. The next 1.5 hours, I would walk you through the Flipgrid platform and share my expertise on that. It is the basic version which I'm going to show. Those who want to explore further, I'm just going to show you the advanced features later in your classroom. For your students, you can explore more. So let's start with the session now. Okay, so what are the session objectives? At the end of the session, you all will learn to create a virtual learning community in Flipgrid platform to facilitate discussion among students in the form of video responses. And you will get familiarized with the Flipgrid camera features, which is the heart of the Flipgrid. And you will also learn to assess the student video responses with customized feedback to amplify their voice. And I'm also going to quickly sneak peek into the future of Flipgrid features because there are going to be many upgrades in the month of August, so which I would like to just show you the upgrades that will happen later. So what is Flipgrid? Okay, so Flipgrid is a video discussion platform where as a teacher you can post a topic and you can give a chance for the students to express their views or ideas or feedback about the topic. So it definitely encourages a fun and supportive learning environment for your students, and it also helps educators to listen to every student of their class. Now, why this Flipgrid? Is it really required? So to understand that, I'll take the scenario of remote teaching, which we are all doing now currently. And I'll also we will see what are the challenges that we face as teachers in remote teaching. The first thing, definitely, we are all separated. Teachers and students are separated. And we are not having face-to-face discussion like how we used to have in our physical classroom setup. And even if we give a topic in our online class, managing the discussion in an organized manner is quite challenging, because once you give a topic and you know that most of the students will quickly unmute themselves and everybody will start like expressing their views and all. So as teachers, what we will do, we will just click that mute all button and we will say, okay, I understood your point. Let's go forward. So this is what usually we will do. In the online classes, we cannot give enough chance for the students to communicate their ideas or express their views and all. And definitely every class, there will be a set of students who would remain muted all the time during the online class. In spite of calling out their names, they are not going to speak out. From teachers' point of view, what we would think that they are not participating in the discussion. But if you think from the student point of view, they will feel like they are left out during the classroom discussion. So this happens in the remote teaching. These are the challenges we face. What if we have a platform where we give a fair chance for all the students to express their ideas, to convey their points, viewpoint, then as teachers, definitely we would get that satisfaction. Yes, I heard every student voice in my classroom. Even now, you all would be attending the next 1.5 hours this online session. Most of the time, it's me as a teacher, I'll be speaking. Whereas as a participant, you will not get chance to speak. Whereas if I give a platform for you to express your views, your ideas, I think then as a teacher, we will get that satisfaction. Yes, I heard every student voice. So to do that, we are going to use the tool called Flipgrid, which is definitely useful to empower every student voice in our classroom. So how to create an interactive learning community in Flipgrid? So now if you want to use Flipgrid, there are only 4 steps that you have to do. It's very, very simple and very interesting for your students. So I'm going to explain all the 4 steps now. I'm going to demonstrate also. So the first one is grid creation. So what do you mean by grid creation? It is setting up a virtual learning community for your students. Means you are going to create a virtual classroom for your students. And once the classroom is created, means once you add your students and everything, once your virtual classroom setup is done, you have to post a topic. Within a grid, you can, as teachers, you can post unlimited topics for your students to discuss. So how the students will discuss? They are not in the physical classroom setup. They cannot meet each other face to face. So how they are going to respond to the topic? They are going to respond to the topic in the form of video responses. They will post their ideas. They will post their reflections or views, feedback, everything in the form of videos. So once they submit their video response, as teachers, we can give them grades and feedback. So any assignment is incomplete without grading and feedback. So as teachers, once it is done, we can give feedback and grades. Now these are the 4 steps which I'm going to walk you through the next 1 hour. The first grid creation, that has to be done by the teacher. That is the classroom setup, the virtual classroom setup. It has to be done by the teacher. Topic creation. Who will give the topic? Of course, the teacher has to give the topic. So the posting of topic also will be done by the teacher. Once the topic is posted, that is the step 3, the student responses. So that step 3 will be done by the student in the form of video responses. And step 4, that is the feedback and grading, that will be done by the teacher. So if you see in this 4-step process, step 1, step 2 and step 4 will be done by the teacher, and step 3 will be done by the student. Submitting their work, that is step 3, will be done by the student. So you just have to remember this 4-step process, which I'll be showing you now. Now, how to sign up in Flipgrid? The sign up process is only for teachers. Students do not need to create a Flipgrid account. They just need a flip code, which I will show later. So only teachers need to sign up. This is the link, signup.flipgrid.com/from/teacher. Ms. Raki, if you can just post it on the comment window, that would be great. So you have to click on this link, and okay, let me go to the next one. Here also you can see. So once you type this in the web browser, it will take you to this window, sign up with Google or sign up with Microsoft. Most of you will have a Google account. So you can sign up with your Google account itself, your existing Google account, you can sign up. Once you click this sign up with Google button, then it would ask you to enter your Gmail ID. So enter the Gmail ID and press the next button. And then it will ask for the password, enter your Gmail ID password, and then you can click next button. And this is how the screen looks for the first time. It will welcome you to the Flipgrid, and the same thing, whatever I told, the process steps are there. So, and then once you come to this welcome to Flipgrid window, you can see start my grid. So this button you have to click to start your grid. I'm sure you remember grid creation is step 1 process. So just click on this start my grid, and you can see 0 grids. This is the login window that you will see. This is the first window that you will see. You can see these are all the tabs. By default, you will be logged into My Grids tab. Means this is a place where you create your grids, and you will see all the grids that you have created already. So these are all some of the advanced features. On top right corner, you can see your login, account login, and then it will show 0 seconds and 0 grids. If you are signing up for the first time, this is how it will show 0 grids, means no grids have been created. To create a grid means to create a virtual learning community, you have to click this add new grid. Okay, once you click add new grid, you can create the virtual classroom community. From here, I will take you to the platform itself because it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so this is a platform. Here it is showing me 4 grids because already I have created a grid, so it is showing 4 grids. For first time login, it will show 0 grid, and click add new grid. So I'm clicking add new grid. So let's make a grid. Please remember, this is the step 1 process I'm doing, and this step is to create a virtual learning community, virtual classroom for your students. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a classroom for teachers help teacher session. For this session, I'm going to create. So what I will do, I will just write teachers help teachers session. Okay, so for this session, I'm creating the grid. Usually if you are creating grid for your class, you can write grade 10A or grade 10B. So you can create like that. And if you scroll down, select a grid type. There are 3 types of grid that you can create. The first one is school email ID. The schools which are having Microsoft account or Google account, they can go for this. This is very simple. They just have to write the domain name. Whatever it is there after @ symbol, you just have to write that. You don't need to write every student ID. You just have to write the domain name, and everyone who is trying to access your grid from the domain, it will allow them inside. The next one is student ID. Here, you have to create a student ID for every student with a password. So you will get an Excel sheet where you have to enter all your student name, and you have to enter the password for them. The password can be just 2 characters also, that is enough. Okay, and the third one is educator learning community. Means this is a grid which you can share with a network of educators and all. If you are teaching higher grade students, usually we will go for this because this also we can give password and all. So I'll just go for this now. Okay, and select one grid type, and then create a flip code. Means it is a unique code that you have to give for your students to enter the grid. So I am writing THT12345. I'll write. Okay, so it shows available, means this code is available. It is like a unique code that you have to share with your students to join the grid. Like how their students will say, excuse me ma'am, only then you will allow them inside the class. Same way they have to use this THT12345, then only they will come to the classroom. Okay, and then I'll click next button. So here I have done only 3 things. I have given name for the grid, and I have chosen a grid type, and I have given a join code. So 3 things I have done, and then click next button. Okay, now here it is asking add a password. Means if you want to protect your grid, you want to make it very private, then you can toggle this on, and then you can type the password so that the children, they need to enter the flip code and they have to enter the password. Only then they can get into the grid. Okay, for time being, I'm not going to have this. I'll keep this off, and then I'll just click next button. Okay, that's it. Your grid is ready. Means I have set up my virtual learning community. That is step 1 is over. It is as simple as that. You can copy it and keep it somewhere, or you can just remember this code. Okay, this THT12345. This is the flip code that you have to share with the students. Okay, and then let me go to my grid. So the classroom setup is done. Okay, this is the classroom setup. You can see we are in my grids. And teachers help teachers session. This is the name of the grid which I gave. And then you can see here, I'll show you. Okay, you can see flip code is given here. And let me go to actions. There are few things that you can do with the grid. Edit grid means if you want to make any changes to the grid, maybe you want to change the name of the grid or something, you can go back to edit grid and make the changes. The next one is add Copilot. If you click on that, you can enter another teacher's email ID so that they will be like a co-teacher for your grid. Means 2 teachers will have access to the grid, and both of them can watch the student responses, and both of them they can give grades and feedback. So invite a co-pilot, you just need to give the email ID of another educator. That's it. And then click invite button. And the next one is duplicate grid. You can even duplicate the grid, and grid notifications. Whenever there is some video responses are uploaded, then you will get a notification and all. And delete grid. If you don't want the grid, you can delete it. These are some of the things which you can do with the grid. So now once the grid is created, if I navigate down, you can see there is already one topic by default. Now we have to do step 2. What is step 2? Posting a topic. The classroom is ready, and you have to post a topic so that the students can reflect on the topic. So by default, there will be a topic, but we don't want students to just say hello on Flipgrid. So I want to add a new topic. So what I have to do, I'll click add new topic. Now this is the place you have to give a topic for your students to reflect. Usually we give a topic for the students to discuss in the classroom. In the physical classroom setup, we just give them a topic and they all come up with their reflection. So here I have to give a topic. Since I'm creating the topic for this session, and so I will give a topic like this. Okay, the topic is Splendid Sunday. So since we are having the session today, I just want you all to reflect on like how was your day today. Okay, I'm just taking a very lighter topic so that all of you can do the task right now. Okay, so Splendid Sunday, and this is the title of the topic. If you are a science teacher, you can give global warming, or if you are a English teacher, you can give a topic for them to speak. So the topic is up to you depending on your subject requirement. And the next one is prompt. Okay, so this Splendid Sunday is very like vast topic. What exactly I want the participants to speak about? So I have to give some prompts, means some questions, leading questions that would help the students what exactly they have to speak. So what I want everybody to do, share one best thing that happened today. What is the best moment of the day? Share one learning that charged you up today. So I'm just giving these as prompts, so the participants can take any one question and then share about it. So this is the prompt, and let me go down, and recording time. This is very important. So if I click this, how much time you are giving for your students to reflect on this topic? You can see, you can select 15 seconds to all the way 10 minutes you have. So 15 seconds to 10 minutes, you can give your students the duration to express their views. Mostly in the class scenario also, what happens, you give a topic to the students in the class. Usually what happens, the children who are very good communicators, they take much time and they keep speaking because they are good communicators, whereas the children who are little shy, they don't get a chance to speak. So that way, those children will be missed out during the classroom discussion. Also, the children who need some time to think and then reflect, they will also get a chance to speak. Whereas if you give a duration for every child, it means that you are giving equal chance for all the children. This is one bigger advantage of using this Flipgrid. So time being, I'll just give 45 seconds. So it's going to be elevator pitch. And the next one is video moderation. So you can keep the video moderation on or off. What does it mean? Once the student uploads the video, it will be hidden by default. As a teacher, only if you watch the video and approve it, only then it will become active and it will be visible for other students. So you can keep the video moderation on or off up to your preference. Okay, so this means you will have better control over student video responses. If you feel the video uploaded by the student is not relevant to the topic which you have posted, then you can just keep it hidden. You will not display for other students. Okay, and the next one is focus. Focus means a focus image or a resource or a video. So I'll just take one Giphy here. So I'll just write Splendid. So you can choose one image where you can, okay, I'll just go for this, scroll down and then click select. Okay, so this is a focus. You can even record your own video and keep it as a focus. And then let me scroll down. Okay, now you can see more options here. So let me click more option and you can see topic tip. If you want to give any tip for your students before they upload their video, you can type here. The next one is topic attachments. This is very useful. If you want your students to watch some resources, to go through some resources or watch a YouTube video, then you can type the link here. As you can see, there are 9 external links allowed. So you can give as many as 9 links for your students to go through. But definitely we won't be needing 9 links. Okay, so it can be OneNote or Google Doc or Dropbox, YouTube, anything. So already I have a YouTube video link, so I'll just copy paste it. Okay, so this is the URL of YouTube video, and then and I have to give a attachment title. Okay, so this is the attachment title, positive thoughts. So I want the students to watch the video and then reflect. So now if you see here, I can give a topic tip now. Watch the video before uploading your response. So this is a tip for them that they know, okay, I have to watch the video here and then I have to upload my response. Okay, and then I'll just scroll down. Okay, this is topic status. Make your topic active, frozen, or hidden. So these are the 3 status that are available. You can make your topic active. Currently, if you want the students to upload the responses, you have to make it active. Frozen means the grid will be frozen, means the students will be able to see all the responses, but they won't be upload any responses further. And hidden means you are hiding the grid completely. Okay, so these are the 3 status that are available. Now I will keep it active. And the next one is launch and freeze dates. Suppose you want to schedule the grid topic for to be launched at a later date, then you can give the launch date and the freeze date. Means during this period only the topic will be active. After that it will be closed. Students won't be able to upload. Okay, and then I'll come down so you can see the features here. If you are creating the grid for the first time, I would suggest you leave all these options as it is. No need to make any changes. You can go through it later. For the first time grid creation, whatever I am doing, you can do that. Okay, the next one is likes. Allow students to like each other's student videos. You can enable this on. It means that one student can like other student videos. Okay, so just enable this on and scroll down. The last one is feedback. Okay, for the video responses, if you want to grade them, so you have to create a rubric. These are the default criteria that is given, ideas and performance. If you want to create a custom feedback according to your requirement, then you can click this custom feedback and you can add your criteria on your own. But for time being, I'll keep the basic feedback, which has this criteria, ideas and performance. So each will have 5 points by default. For time being, let me keep like that only. Okay, and then scroll down, create topic. Just click create topic. That's it. The topic is ready, all set. So this is the, see, you can see we are in my grids tab. Okay, and teachers, help teachers, community, and inside that, this is this Splendid Sunday. So this is the topic we are in currently. So step 2 is also over. Grid creation is done. Topic creation is done by the teacher. Both are done. Now you see, like, this is a topic, whatever I entered there. Splendid Sunday is the topic title, and these are all the prompts which I gave, and this is a topic tip. Watch the video before uploading your response. So this is the video I want the students to watch before uploading their response. And if I scroll down here, it shows 0 responses. It means that no student has submitted the response. That's why it is showing 0 response. That means the grid is empty. So once you share the flip code with the students, they will start uploading their video response. So I'm going to do step 3 now, because grid creation is done, topic creation is done. So let us go ahead and do step 3, which is uploading student responses. To do that, I'm going to take the role of a student, and I'm going to do how from student point of view, how they will do, I'm going to show. And after my demonstration, I want all of you to do that. By the time you can even install Flipgrid in your mobile. It won't take much time. You can install it quickly. So quickly install the app, and all of you are going to do this task. Okay, so let me go to this one. Before that, I have to switch off my video here. Let me do that. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay, how students can do. First, I'm going to show it from laptop. After this, I will also show how to do from mobile. Okay, so in laptop, what you have to do, just open your browser and then write flipgrid.com. Okay, so this is the screen students will get. This is the screen. Okay, so if you scroll down, there is a place called enter a flip code. Okay, so as a teacher, you should share the flip code with your student. Now, please remember, whatever I am doing, it is from student's point of view. So I'm doing step 3, which is like a student. Okay, so I will enter the flip code, which is THT12345. Okay, so this is the flip code, and I press this arrow button. So this is what I'm getting. So as a student, this is what students will see. Teachers help teacher session. Okay, Splendid Sunday is the topic, and these are all the prompts given by the teacher. Okay, I have to watch the video before uploading the response. So the student will click this video and watch the video before uploading the response. Okay, now let me scroll down. You can see this plus sign. This is the button you have to click to upload the response. So I'll just click this. Once we click, it will ask you to authenticate. So let me just enter the email ID and password. Okay, so if you see, my Flipgrid camera will be on in some time. Yeah, so now you will be watching me in the screen, but it is through Flipgrid camera and not through Zoom camera. Okay, so this is how it will look, the Flipgrid camera which is enabled. This is the heart of Flipgrid. So I'm going to make you familiarize with all the features of Flipgrid camera. Okay, so first if you see, okay, the top right corner here, it shows 45. So it means that the student has 45 seconds to record their video response. And the next one is show topic. Sometimes what happens after coming till here, the students would forget what topic I have to speak about. So if they just click this button, it will show the prompts and topic title, so the student can go through it once again if required. And if you click the same icon again, the topic will be hidden. The next one is sticky note. Some students, they might need some hints while recording their video. So if they just click the sticky note and they can type whatever they want to speak, they can just make a hint, like how students generally we do, right? So like that, they can make hints of what they want to speak. But this sticky note will not be visible when they actually start recording. This is only for the student to just see and speak. That's it. Okay, so this is a great feature for the students who want to give a very perfect video response. So I'll close this. The next one here, exactly you can see this place. So these are all the Flipgrid camera features, which I'll be showing one by one now. The first one is filter. So if you click filter, you'll get many options which will give a different effect for the video. See, I'm clicking one by one. You can see every time I choose one, this is warm, this is cool. So every time I click one, it is giving a totally different mood for the video. The last one is pixel. This is something very interesting because see, if I click this, my identity is hidden. There will be students in our class who will be camera shy or who don't want to show their face when they are recording their video response. Definitely there will be students in our class. So for those students, this will be helpful. Definitely as teachers, we don't want to see their video. We just want to empower their voice. We want to engage the children by listening to their voice. We don't want to see their video. So you can tell them to go for this pixel option. Okay, but for time being, let me go for this. Okay, so this is the filter feature. The next one is text. So there are some text which are available for the students to click and use according to their topic given. So I'll just click this and then you can see the cursor came here. So I will write Splendid Sunday. So I'll just click somewhere and then I'll put it here. Okay, so whatever student they are talking, they can just write about it and place it wherever they want. They can see the resize handles are available, so they can resize it, they can move it, everything they can do. So this is about font. The next one is stickers. Okay, these are all some emojis that are available. Your students would definitely love to use these emojis. This would make their work actually very interesting. Okay, so I'll just go for a few emojis. So, and then, okay, you can see there are many emojis. This is recent one. So whatever I recently used, it is displayed here. This is emojis and people. If you want different people, you can go for this. These are all accessories. This is a reaction and this is magic. So you can just click and see there are many things available here. So you can go for it. So let me take from recent because I don't want to waste my time. You can explore it. Just click and explore. So I'll just put this here and one more I'll take. Yeah. Since we are going to talk about the positive day, so I'm going for all these things. Okay, so I have put all the emojis and things, whatever I need. And the next one is drawing pen. So if I just click this, Ms. Raki, can you admit this person? It is actually hiding my.
Done.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the next one is drawing. So if you click this, the students can draw on the screen. Now I'm doing from laptop, so it is not coming very perfectly. This feature is very helpful for math teachers and students who want to solve some math problems. So they can just use the touch screen in their mobile and they can solve the math problem and explain. So this feature is very useful for that. So this is drawing. You can choose a color and draw whatever you want on the screen. The next one is board. There are two boards available, whiteboard and blackboard. So if I click whiteboard, this is how it comes, and this is for blackboard. Again, the students who don't want to show their face, who want to keep their identity secret, then they can just use this whiteboard and blackboard and record their video. And this is about board. The next one is custom sticker. So you can add your own sticker if required. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to add the custom sticker. So I'll click this. Means I can take an image from my computer and upload it. So I'm already having. So I have an image in desktop. So let me take that and put it in my video. So yeah. So I'll just minimize this. Okay, so every setup I have shown all the features which are here. Not necessary that the students should use all of these features every time. Definitely not like that. Since I want to show all the features, I used everything. But according to the subject, according to the topic, the children will be using the required feature. Okay. Now these are all the features. There are some advanced features as well. So let me click this. You can see screen recording. This is something which is very, very useful. For example, for holiday homework, I had given a PowerPoint presentation to be made by all the students and submitted. Okay, but since the they are not coming to school, and if they start sending me through emails, then I won't be able to assess their work properly. Also, I'll be able to just see their PPT. I won't be able to see how they present. Okay, so what students did, they used the screen recording feature of Flipgrid, and they did a PowerPoint show, and they gave voiceover, and they submitted their work. So it was very interesting to see. So this screen recording feature is very useful. The next one is add video clip. You can also upload a video clip. Sometimes what happens, every time you won't be having internet connectivity, so you would have just taken the video. Later you can just click this add video clip and you can upload the video from your computer. But that time you won't be able to use all of these features. Okay, the video will be uploaded the way how it was recorded. So let me just return now. Okay, so these are all the features. So to start the recording, now I have done only the setup. To start the recording, you have to click this red video button right here. Okay, so once I click that, the recording will start. So now what I'm going to do, as a participant, as a student, I'm going to record the video. I hope you all remember the topic prompts and all. So based on that, I'm going to do a video recording of 45 seconds only, because I have only 45 seconds. So I have to be really fast in expressing whatever I want to express. So once I click this, the recording will start. Hi everyone, I'm Ramya, and today is the best day for me because thanks to Teachers Help Teachers and EdChat India who gave me the opportunity to get connected with enthusiastic educators who are always willing to learn, and I'm very happy to join them today. And the best moment is sharing the Flipgrid platform with them, and I'm sure they will be using it for their students in their classroom teaching. Thank you so much. That's it. I have done my video recording. You can see the time was displaying here. So once the recording is done, just I have to click the next button. What it will do, it will just play the video again, just to check whether the video recording has been done properly. So it is just like checking the video. Now I don't want to check. I'm sure it will be perfect. So I'll just click next button. So now here it will ask you to take a selfie before uploading. This is just to show the thumbnail image. So even while taking selfie, you have all the camera features available. I'll just use one. Okay, so, and then I have to click this red camera button to take the selfie. That's it. The selfie has been taken, and then again click next. Okay, so you can see the video is uploading. Okay, so it will ask the name. Okay, so I'll write my name. The students, every participant or student, they have to write their display name and title on what topic I have spoken. So I'll just write best moment of the day. Okay, so this is the topic title, and link, it is optional. If you want to share any link, you can link, but these two you can enter and then submit video. That's it. You can see, congratulations Ramya Shriram, the video has been submitted. Once it is submitted, if the student wants, they can download the video, or if they want, they can download the selfie. Now I'll just click complete. You can see now one response. Now the screen which I'm showing, it is currently in student view. It is not in teacher view. So this is how the students will see once they upload their video response. So let me get back to the teacher view. Yeah, this is the teacher view. Let me refresh my screen. And you can see Ramya Shriram. So one video has been submitted. So what I want all of you to do now is, okay, so this is how you can submit the video using laptop. Now, what I'm going to do, most of you will be having mobile now. So the step 3, how you can do from mobile, I'm going to show. I'm sure everybody would have downloaded the app now. So I'll just show you the step-by-step process. So once you download, this is how the icon will look like. You can see this plus icon. So just click on that, and then it will ask you to enter the flip code. So type the flip code, which is THT12345, and then click on the arrow next to it. So once you click on the arrow, it will ask for the password usually, but I have not kept password for this session, so you don't need to enter the password. So let's go to the next one. So it will show the topic here. These are all the screenshots taken already. So this is the here you will see Splendid Sunday, and then you will see all the prompts which I have given, and you will see the plus icon on your mobile. Bottom right corner of your mobile, just click this plus icon. Your video will be enabled. So just go for 1 or 2 camera features. You can just use like that, and then click the red video button, which will help you to do the recording. And once the recording is over, take a selfie image by clicking this red camera button, and then type your name, add any title as per your wish, and then submit video. It will say the video your video is on the grid. Return to grid. You will see your response like this. Once you upload, the number of responses keep increasing. Now I want to give you all just 5-minute time. Okay, I'm displaying the flip code here, which is THT12345. I want to get some responses so that I can also show you how we can give feedback and grades. So I just want everybody to try, just speak something. If you're camera shy, or if you feel you're not ready for the camera, then no problem. You can use that whiteboard or blackboard or pixel feature, and you can hide your identity. Absolutely no issue. But just upload your response and talk anything. Content is not important. I just want you to just get familiarized with the interface. So yeah, can I have some responses?
Yes, Ms. Ravi, I wanted to ask, there was a question that do students need to log in with email account despite having flip code? Do they need to have a Gmail account?
If they are when they are installing the Flipgrid anyway in mobile, it will ask for Gmail ID. But if so, then they don't have to. From mobile, it will just ask them to enter the flip code. But if they are doing from laptop, it will ask them to authenticate. Yes.
Okay. And if I don't have a Gmail account, then
you have to take the help of parents. Like parents have to help.
Share their email. Okay.
Yeah. So can I quickly have few responses in the grid? I'm feeling lonely there. I want all of you to join over there.
So I just need to go and mention this code, THT12345,
yes,
right?
THT12345 and just upload the response.
So when I'm doing that, I'm getting inside my Flipgrid account. So I'm able to see my grid that I have created.
Ma'am, can you share the link to your Flipgrid? The one that you have sent to us?
Yes.
The recording is actually interfering with Zoom, so that's why it's not allowing us to do it.
Yes,
Okay.
even I'm unable to. Sorry.
Okay. I'm happy that you all tried. Yes, if yeah, that Zoom and this Flipgrid, they both will clash. It's okay. I'm happy that you all tried. So what
I've uploaded. Just check mine, Chaitali Mehta.
Oh, that's great. Let me check. Let me refresh the screen.
I've spoken rubbish. Huh?
That's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to play it. Don't worry.
Yes, no, I'm not
oh my God. Oh my God. I got many responses and very nice. Hina ma'am. Oh, okay. That's very nice.
I'm unable to upload it. How am I supposed to do the uploading?
Upload means you have recorded the video. Just click the next button there. Top right, bottom right, you will see the. Okay, I'll show you.
Mobile is very simple.
Mobile, it's very simple actually.
Okay, you are doing on mobile. I'm trying on my laptop.
I'm also on the laptop.
Yeah.
I downloaded the app from mobile. Very simple.
Yeah, mobile, very simple. Laptop, the way I have shown, you have to just click the next button. If the recording is over, if you have clicked that red button, red video button.
I'm unable to connect to Flipgrid itself.
Network issue.
Yeah, from mobile or laptop, ma'am?
From laptop.
Okay, I'm doing it from a laptop.
Okay, ma'am, then in laptop, you have to just enter your flip code here, which is THT12345, and just press this blue color arrow button.
Yes, ma'am, but I'm just, okay, I'll try again. One more.
Okay.
Maybe it's a problem of...
Here, I've shared the...
Yeah, please share if that's possible.
I think mine is coming through.
Yeah, it's very nice to see that Teachers Help Teachers session is grid is getting filled up with positive responses here. So who can give me permission to play the video? Anybody? Anyone?
You can play mine also.
Okay, ma'am, please. Chaitali ma'am, can I?
Chaitali, yeah. There is nothing great.
Okay. No, you were telling something, sir. Okay, now,
it's okay.
Okay, now, okay, let me show you. Okay, this is how let me refresh. That's why it is showing 0 responses. Okay, this is how your students also will be uploading. Now you might be thinking, should I have to do it during the remote teaching itself when I'm taking the online class itself? Absolutely not required. What you can do, whatever topic you're going to, you're planning to teach on that day. So you can create a grid, and after the class, you can just share the flip code with them and tell them that this is a homework. This is how you have to submit your homework. So instead of every time taking a quiz or just writing and then uploading their work, so this will be definitely interesting for them. And it also will give them the sense of being connected. See, actually the children are not connected. They are not even, they are not meeting each other face to face. So if you give a platform for them like this, it will allow the students to watch others' video and get to know what other child is thinking for the same topic. Okay, you see, this is the classroom, the virtual classroom which I have created, where every student of my class is voicing out their opinion, and everybody is getting equal chance, equal duration to speak. It's not that one child speaking for 10 minutes and the other child I'm giving only 15 seconds because I have a time constraint, so I'm giving them less time. So every child I'm giving equal duration to voice of their opinion. So this is how students will see. Let me go back to, this is how the teachers will see. Let me refresh again. It's because it is showing only 4 responses. So as and when the videos are uploaded, this is how as teachers you will be seeing. So now in order to grade the work, so now again step 4, I am doing the step 4 because student responses I have got. So for step 4, suppose I want to assess Chaitali ma'am's work. So what I can do, I can just click on that video and the video will be played. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure whether you are all able to hear ma'am's voice, but she has spoken really well, ma'am. You have spoken well. You can see she has used this emoji. And okay, so as a teacher, I can watch the complete video. And if you feel this is one of the best video, you can star it. Like how we give a star on their notebook, the same way you can give a star so that it will stay on the top. The starred responses will always be on the top. Now let me scroll down here. You can see grading rubric. Okay, so these are the rubric, ideas and performance. So ideas, I can give 5 points and total 5 points. So performance, this is the rubric. So out of 10 marks, I'm assessing this video response. Also, I want to give a personalized feedback for Chaitali ma'am. So I can say, well done, Chaitali ma'am. The camera features. Okay, so this is the way you can give a personalized feedback to your student, and then email feedback. The moment I click email feedback, whatever ID ma'am used to record the video, to that email the feedback will go. And if I like the video, as I told you, the student can like each other's video. So I can click this and you can see 1 like for this video response, and I'll click this email feedback. So you can see feedback has been sent. So this feedback for ideas 5, performance 5, and this personalized comment, it has been mailed. Now definitely Chaitali ma'am would have received the email from me. How ma'am would have received? I will show the screenshot now. Okay, so this is how. Okay, so this is how Chaitali ma'am would have received the feedback, whatever I gave in her email ID. So performance 5 out of 5, ideas 5 out of 5, sorry, and comments. Whatever comments I gave, the comments will be displayed here. So every child, they will get a personalized feedback and mark. Okay. And now you will be asking me that till now the submissions which I have got, you used it as from student point of view. You just entered the flip code and you used it. Now how as teachers, how you can use from mobile? So this is how. So same, the plus icon is there. Just click on the plus icon. Now instead of entering the flip code, the flip code has to be entered only when you want to upload a response. Now you have to click on educator dashboard. So once you click this educator dashboard, it will list out all the grids that you have created. So all the grids that has been created in this ID, that will be listed out, and you can click on any of the grid. Okay, so just click on the grid, and then what is the topic, one topic, and the topic will be displayed here. So if you just click on the topic details, okay, what are the topic title and what are the prompts, everything will be displayed, and all the submissions of the students will be displayed like that, like this. Okay, so every student video response you can see. Now just click on the video response that you want to see, and the video will be played, like how I played Chaitali ma'am's video. The same way the video will be played. After hearing the video, after hearing the ideas and reflection of the student, if you just navigate down, if you just scroll down, you can see the rubric, the same way how I showed in the laptop. So ideas 5, performance 5, and the comment you can write, and then email feedback. Just click email feedback, you will get the message feedback has been sent. So you can do it from mobile itself. Even the grading and assessment can be done from mobile itself. So usually what I will do, afternoon time, after my class, I will just go through, I'll be lying on the bed and I'll finish the grading and giving feedback. So that easy and simple it is. I don't need to like open the laptop and all, because it is just video response. I have to hear what they are speaking. So I'll just hear it. And also not all children, suppose you have 40 students in your class, you might be wondering, oh my God, I have to hear all 45 student video responses and then grade them. But I'm telling you, if you give a task, all 45 students will not upload their videos in one shot. Maximum in a day, you will get 5 responses from the video. Only 5 students will complete their task. So in a day, you will be just grading only 5 video responses and then send them the grade. So the next class, you can tell these 5 children have completed, the other students you all have not completed. So you can just give a reminder during your online class. So this is how you can use Flipgrid app from teacher's point of view. Now that I'm sure you all are comfortable in Flipgrid interface, now you will be wondering, okay, I just gave you a lighter topic, okay, just to get an idea. What topic I can give for my students? This question will be definitely there in every teacher's mind now. So I'll just show some examples of how you can use pre-primary to class 3. If you are a teacher handling pre-primary to class 3, then you can use any of these. You can ask the student to sing a rhyme and story time. You can just ask them to take a toy and talk about it, or show and tell. Take an object and describe, so they will their English fluency will improve, or they can talk about their favorite book. So these activities, of course, for pre-primary to class 3, either teachers or parents guidance is required. The child cannot hold the mobile and do like use the features. So actually we give this activity for our school students. So the teacher will create a grid and ask every child to sing a rhyme, whatever she's teaching. So the teacher will get the responses from them. Since the teacher cannot hear them individually during online class, because for small children, it all depends on the mood. They will not sing when the teacher is asking to sing. So you can ask the parents to upload the video of them singing a rhyme. So these are some of the ideas that you can use for pre-primary to class 3. For high school students, book review, current event, you can ask them to speak about current events, any historical event. You can give them a quote and ask them to analyze what do you infer from this quote and all. And hobby showcase, you can ask them to showcase their hobby which they are pursuing now. And what if scenario, you can just give them a scenario and tell them what if you were there, or how you will handle the situation. So you can see you will get a variety of responses from students, and it will be very interesting to go through their responses. And for university students, these are all some of their examples: team collaboration, goal setting, graduation ceremony, all these things they can do. And for staff and professional learning community, among staff also you can create a grid. For example, we had our principal ma'am's birthday, so we created a grid. We all uploaded our videos, and on the day of birthday we just shared the flip code, and she felt that you were all there with me to wish me. So everybody just spoke something positive. We expressed our joy. So it was very emotional for her to see those video responses instead of just typing in the WhatsApp happy birthday. So this would give a sense of being connected. Not only that, professional development, yes, you can use it for that. Goal setting, introduce new staff, they can introduce themselves in using a grid. So all these things can be done. So how can you do remote learning ideas with Flipgrid? Some examples which I have done with my students, I'm going to share. This is book review activity. So what you can do, you can give, if you're an English teacher, you can just ask each and every child to read a book and give a book review using this Flipgrid. As you can see, the variety of book reviews that we got, it was truly amazing. This was actually done by our English teacher. She was telling, like, I was really surprised. I understood that there is a like a connection between their characteristics and the kind of books they read. I understood them better now. So you cannot definitely give this activity in the classroom. You cannot give 39 students to speak in a 40-minute period to talk, to give a review about a book. Also, what happened this way, every child watched other student book review and they understood, okay, I should try this genre of books also. I'm reading only these kind of books. Let me try this. So they started exchanging their books also. So that way it was very nice to see. And the next one is share innovative ideas. This grid we created immediately after the when the lockdown was announced in the month of March. So what we did, we asked the students how innovatively they are spending their like lockdown period. So what new thing you are doing, or you, if it is gardening or you are learning a new instrument, cooking a new dish, just post it here. So every child, they tried something new at home, and whatever they tried, they just uploaded the video here. So it gave them a feeling that they are all connected, and it also helped the students to see each other, what their peers are doing. So, and it helped them, okay, let me also try to do this way. This is how my friend is spending the time productively during this lockdown period. Let me also try that. So this was also quite very interesting. And the next one, happiness quotient of Meridian Kukatpalli. This grid we created for the staff in the month of January. So we wanted to begin the new year in a very positive note. So what we did, we created a grid. We asked teachers to express their best moment in our school. So every teacher, they expressed their best moment, whether it could be a teacher helping them or best feedback from the parent. So it was very nice to see others' responses, and they were thanking their colleagues who helped them when they were actually in trouble and all. So it was very nice. These are all our school teachers actually who uploaded their video response for that topic. And the next one, you can even use it for brainstorming session. So before taking a class, you want your students, you want to know how much prior knowledge the children are having about that topic. For example, when I started artificial intelligence class, before the class, I created the grid and I shared it with the student. Whatever you know about artificial intelligence, you just speak about it. So when I went through the video, I was amazed. Okay, my God, this much information they already know about AI. So it gave me an understanding from where I should start my preparation. I understood that I cannot start from the very low level. Like they are all up to this level already. So let me start the class from that level onwards. So it helped me to understand them better. You can see that these are all the responses. This is a screenshot taken long back, so it is showing only 10. And you can see once it is graded, it is showing 10 by 10. So whatever grading you will give, it is displayed here like this. And the next one, okay, screen recording feature. This was done by my students in the recent time. Okay, so few students, what they did, they prepared a PowerPoint presentation, and they used the screen sharing, screen recording feature of Flipgrid, and they did a presentation with their voice. So it was very nice to see they are showing the PPT also, at the same time they are presenting also. So otherwise, if they just send the PPT through email, I'll just see the slides. I won't be able to hear their voice, what exactly they are trying to say through the slide. I won't be able to understand. But this gave me an understanding of how they have created the presentation and what they are trying to convey through their presentation. And these are all some of the advanced features. I'll just take you through these features quickly. Let me go back to the Flipgrid. Okay, so let me close this. Okay, so if I'll just show this once again. See, if I refresh, only for Chaitali ma'am, it will show 10 out of 10 because see, you can see it is showing 10 out of 10 because I have graded her and I sent her the feedback, and it is showing star because since I have started, it is staying on the top. So the students, sometimes the student will say, ma'am, I don't know what to speak. What should I do there? So I will tell them, okay, check the start response. You will get the idea. So they will go and check. They will refer, they will take some ideas, and then they will speak on their own. So this opportunity also I give to students who need some help or who need some guidance. So they will take the help from their peer student themselves. They won't, we don't need to guide them. I'll tell them, go and check the start responses. There are 5 start responses. Watch the videos, get an idea, and you upload your own video. So that way also you can do. Okay, so let me show you the advanced features. So these are all the advanced features here. Okay, but if you're a first time, like if you're brand new to Flipgrid, whatever I showed till now, it is more than enough. But if you want to explore more further, then you can try all these things. As I told before, once you log in, My Grid is the place by default you will enter. And this is a place which will show the number of grids that are created by you. And the next one, and this is a place where you will be creating a new grid if required. Okay, the next one is My Activity. Here you will have dashboard, achievements, and recent video. The dashboard will show the number of the engagement, like how many grids are launched, how many topics created, total number of videos. So all these things will be visible here. Engagement, like the engagement that happened in your grid. And the next one is achievement. Achievement, you can see there are a lot of badges for you to achieve. So I'm also going to show about all of these, how you can get these badges. So once you get the badges, it will become like highlighted. Okay, till now these badges are not I have not got these badges. That's how it is. That's why it is in gray color. Okay, so I'll show all of these things now. The next one is recent videos. The videos which are uploaded recently, that will be displayed here. So I can see all these videos are uploaded recently. So the recent videos will be here. So all these things you will find under My Activity. So My Grid is already done. The next one is Mixtape. Mixtape is also a wonderful feature where if you want to, suppose you have 50 responses and you want to pick the best of the responses, or like out of 50, you want to pick best 5 responses and then you want to share it. So in that case, you can use the Mixtape, add new Mixtape, and then you can give a title. Maybe I'll give I'll write Mixtape so that you won't get confused. And here also I can. Okay, when I write the code here, you can see this plus icon. The plus icon indicates that it is a mixtape. Means that this can, even if you share this with someone, they cannot upload their video. It is only for viewing. This code will not help your students or the participants to upload. So once you can, okay, I'll leave all of this and then create Mixtape. Okay, now you want to add the best videos from the grid to Mixtape. So how I can do? So let me go to My Grid and let me go to Teachers Help Teachers Grid, and I'll enter my topic. And suppose I feel, ma'am, I'm just doing randomly, please just don't mind. So I feel these videos are the best videos. Okay, I have not seen, I'm just picking randomly. So maybe 4 videos I will take. So these 4 videos are the best videos which I want to show to my head or principal. You have done an activity using Flipgrid and you want to showcase the best videos to your head of the department or to your coordinator or principal. See, this is the activity I did and this is what I got from the students. So you can just select everything and then click actions, and then you can see here add to mixtape. So let me click that and then create a mixtape. We don't need it. We already have a mixtape which is Splendid Sunday mixtape. Okay, this is another mixtape. So I'll just click this and then I'll add. What happens? The 4 videos which I selected, they will be added to this Splendid Sunday mixtape. So 4 responses are added. Just go to mixtape. Okay, you can see these are all the 4 responses. Now how it will be viewed? Okay, so you can share this code and once they click this, this is how it will be viewed. So these are all the 4 best responses and automatically it will be viewed. Once you start playing, every video will be played automatically. So when you are sharing your work with someone, then in that case, you can just handpick the best video responses from your students and share it this way. You can see this plus icon indicates that it is a mixtape and videos cannot be uploaded. It is just for viewing purpose only. Okay, so this is about mixtape. And the next one is GridPulse. Here, if you want to take your Flipgrid activity beyond the 4 walls of your classroom, then you can get connected with people around, the educators around the world. You can see every plus sign indicates that there is a teacher using Flipgrid waiting to get connected with any classroom for the topic. So what you can do, you can, if I just click this plus icon, okay, see, you can see this particular teacher, Carrie Nielsen, and what subject they are teaching, technology, instructional, that person is an instructional coach, and my subjects all K-12, so all subjects. So like that, you can choose a, like pen pal, how we will do. The same way you can choose an educator from around the world and get connected and like both of you can create a grid together, and then both the students from both the classrooms, they can upload the video. Basically, this would be helpful if you are teaching about culture and tradition of a country. Then you can ask your students to upload about Indian culture, and you can get connected with an educator from Africa and ask the teacher and take the help of the teacher to submit the videos of her students to know about African country. So that way it will help in collaboration outside the 4 walls of your classroom. And the next one is Disco Library. This is also a very, very useful feature. I showed many examples of how you can integrate Flipgrid in your subject, but I'm sure most of the teacher would not be happy. They want more topic ideas. Then this Disco Library is the best place. The topics which are already created by the educators all over the world, they have uploaded here. So the topics are already here. See, you can see these are all this many topics are available. You can choose your audience, okay, middle school, and what subject you want. Suppose you are looking for math, okay, and you are looking for fraction topic, okay, you are looking for a fraction topic. So what you can do, see, these are all the topics that are already created by some teacher and which have been used. You can see engagement. This much of engagement has happened with that grid. So it means it is a very successful topic creation, means the teacher has used it. And so what you can do, just click on the topic. Suppose this fraction multiplication I want to try with my student. So just click on that. And then it gives the topic prompts and everything. See, everything is already there. If you want, you can edit it later. And then you can directly add this topic to your grid. But when you add, the the video responses uploaded for this topic will not be added to your grid. Only the topic will be added. So let me select the grids. For example, now I will select this teacher help teacher session grid and I'll click add. What happens? This particular topic, see, fraction multiplication is directly added to my grid. I don't need to create the topic from the scratch. The topics are already there. You just need to go to Disco library, select a topic and add it to your grid. Okay, now if you want to edit the grid, means according to your student requirement, if you want to edit the grid, you can edit the grid or just click update topic. Now I'm not going to edit. So let me click update topic. Let me see whether it has got added. So this is, I have come to my grid. Let me go to teachers help teachers grid. And you can see the topic is added. It is as simple as that. And then you can share the flip code. You can, if you just click this share, this is the flip code. You can just share it with your students and they can start uploading their response. So this is the best place if you are looking for some ideas. If you are looking for some topic ideas, please go to this place. You have some filters also available. You can choose the age group of the student. You can choose the subject. Inside the subject, what topic, everything you can choose. And then get the topic, just add it to your grid and you can get going. Okay, so please explore this topic Disco library for wonderful topics uploaded. You can see these many topics are there. So we can make use of this. And the last one is shorts. This is something like if you want to use Flipgrid camera features and then you want to create a video. So same way you can just click on record a shot, the Flipgrid camera will be enabled and whatever exactly I showed now, same way you can use all the Flipgrid camera features, record a video and download it and use it for any purpose. Maybe you want to upload it in YouTube or you want to share it as a birthday message to someone, you can share it. So this is not anything related to grid. It is just to create a quick and fun video to share it with anyone, anywhere. Okay, so these are all some of the advanced features which you can explore on your own. So that is what I have just listed out. Okay, let me go to the next one. As you all use now, Flipgrid can be installed in any device which has webcam and microphone, because these two are really important. So iPad, tab, mobile, any device you can use. And still, if you're thinking that why should I use Flipgrid? So I want to highlight few key points. Flipgrid app is free. There is no restriction like it will expire after 3 months, or there is no restriction like the number of this many number of students only can be added, or this many topics can be created, or this many number of grids only can be created. There is no restriction like that. You can create as many number of grids. You can post as many topics as you want and you can bring in as many students as you need. So there is no restriction for that and it is free. And it ensures every student participates in discussion. Yes, as I saw now, like everybody, I'm able to hear as a teacher, you can hear every student voice. It allows students to think, prepare and reflect. Yes, whenever a topic is posted, the child will think and then the child will reflect. So we will get the perfect best responses from them, and grading and feedback for student video responses is also possible. Yes, you saw now, which is very important because feedback would help them to perform better in the next time. And it develops student confidence in expressing their ideas and views. If you see, if you create 4 to 5 grids, you can see the response which was uploaded by the students in the first grid, compare it with the response uploaded in the 5th grid. You will definitely see a major difference. The way of communication, the way the child expresses their ideas, the child will definitely feel confident, and it helps students learn from each other. Yes, they can watch each other's video and they can learn from each other. So definitely you have to use Flipgrid and take all the benefits of this interface. Now the main question comes. Everybody, you all just uploaded the video without any hesitation because you are all like we are all adults, we are teachers. But the moment we say upload your video response, definitely there will be parents who would have major concern, like you are asking students to upload the videos. Is it safe? for my child to upload a video response. So the first thing that you can say is, yes, if you are not feeling very confident, you can use the camera features and hide your child identity. That is one way. Otherwise also, you can go through the Flipgrid privacy policy, and which has all the details, which is very important for the protection and privacy of the videos uploaded by your students. The first one is the grids and all which is created. Once you create a grid, that teacher will become the grid owner. No one else will have access. And as you saw now, there are no advertisements that pop up. So there is no distraction for the students while doing the task, because it is purely created for educational purpose. So no videos pop up, and there are no third party control given to this app. So if you feel, the ones who get join code, only they can enter the grid. And if you want, you can also set a password. If your school has this, if your school is a Google school or Microsoft school, then you can use that domain ID and then you can create the grid. So no one else will get the access to the grid. And control, as educators, we will be the grid owners. So whether the videos can be downloaded or not, all these things, when the topic has to be hidden, when it has to be frozen, so all these things are under the control of teacher. So anytime you are the grid owner and you have all control over the grid created by you. And protect, so all the comments and everything has been scanned. If anything offensive has been uploaded, it will not be directly visible to in the grid. You will get a mail related to that particular video response, and you can go through it, and then you can either hide it, delete it, or anyway it will be hidden only. So all these things will be scanned by the Flipgrid itself. If it finds anything offensive, anything bullying, it will immediately send the notification to the educator, and automatic moderation will happen. Means automatically the video will be hidden. So that no one else will be able to see. As a teacher, you can go through that video. Then if you feel it is okay, you can make it active. So the access, control, and protect, all these things have been taken care by the Flipgrid. So there is nothing to worry. Still, I would suggest all the educators to go through the Flipgrid privacy policy link once, so that you will get a better understanding. Now, as I told, this is the block that you can use. If you want to get started, whatever I shared, everything is there. So, and the next one is certified. If you are looking for, apart from using it for your classroom, if you are looking for professional development, then you can earn these badges. Flipgrid certified educator, level 1, level 2, level 3, and student voice ambassador. So there are links here. You can click the link I showed you. It is there in the activity tab. So you can click the link and go through the criteria, and then just fulfill the criteria, then you will be certified. You will get this badge enabled for you. So you can also go for professional development while using this platform. And next one, there are going to be a lot of upgrades in Flipgrid interface. Okay, so I want to show some of the features that will be introduced from the month of August, so that it won't come as a surprise. Otherwise, you will be thinking, July month when I attended the session, all these things were not there, or Ramya ma'am didn't show me all these things, like how children will tell, right? So it won't come as a surprise for you. So I would just show all of these things. First thing, the icon itself, there is going to be a change. Instead of just that plus and green color circle, it's going to get all these colors around that. So the icon, there will be a change in the icon. And few of the things, instead of group, instead of grid, they are going to rename it as group. That's it. Only the name is changed. Otherwise, it is all the same. The interface is same. That's just the name they are changing from grid to group. Whatever I was saying, grid, it will be called as groups. So you will be, the first time you will click add new group instead of grid. Okay, the next one is, instead of Disco Library, they are going to rename it as Discovery Library. So they just want to give this name. So it will be called as Topic Discovery Library. And the third one is there are going to be some built-in frames also, like you are seeing now. The frames also they are going to introduce along with emojis and stickers. There will be some ready-made frames which we can use. And the next new stickers are going to get introduced. For example, especially the stickers for mathematics. So the math teachers will be very happy. So these are all the new stickers that will be available, and GIFs. So not just the image, we can also use GIFs that are there in the Flipgrid camera features. And the next one is comments and video. Till now, the student can just like the other student video response, but whereas they are going to give comments also. So after watching the video, the students can comment on each other's video. Again, if there is anything offensive, it will not be uploaded. Okay, so these are all some of the changes, and we are at the end of the session now. I hope you all learned how to create a grid, how to upload a topic and share it with students, understood Flipgrid camera features, and how you can use Flipgrid for remote learning. So thank you so much. I think we can open for any question and answer session.
Yeah, there are some questions. It was indeed a wonderful tool, because while of course you were talking, I was also exploring the tool side by side, like many of us might be doing it. And there was this one topic, one question by Miss Purnima, and she was asking whether when we were uploading our video, how is it that you were able to show a copy of the feedback that you sent to Miss Chaitali? Because she wanted to understand whether she will be able to get a copy of that in her inbox.
No. This is the one. See, I have sent the feedback that Chaitali ma'am would have got in the email. But just to show how it would have reached Chaitali ma'am, I just took a screenshot of the work which I had done earlier.
Okay.
It was just a screenshot. It was not the real one. Actually, it was the feedback I gave for the video which I uploaded myself.
Oh,
just for the session.
Okay.
Okay. So this is to my email ID, which I took the screenshot.
Okay, so otherwise we are not going to get that copy. It's going to go only to the student.
Yeah, only to the student. But as teacher, suppose I want to check later what, sorry, I'll go to teacher. So what feedback I gave. So what I can do, I can just click here and I will be able to see. If I click on the child student response, so here I will be able to see what I gave.
Okay. So here you are able to give the feedback and also go back and assess what is it that you have actually marked the child for.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And this feature also is very useful here. See, once you enter the grid, you can see students. So all the students who have submitted, quickly we can see who all have submitted. So this is also really very helpful. Oh my God, I could see a lot of responses. That's really great to see, seriously.
We all attempted because we wanted to learn and understand how is it that we could use it.
Okay, actually if you see like this, now you feel, okay, how nice it is for the students also to see the responses of each other.
How do we create a school account in this case? So I can log in as an educator and as a student, but if I want to create a school ID?
I'm sorry, the school ID will be already there with the student, right?
School, so let's say my school's name is Teachers Help Teachers. So how is it that I create a separate ID under Teachers Help Teachers?
No, you have a domain.
School, okay, school email, all right.
Okay, yeah. So for example, simply I'm writing example grid and I'll choose school email because my school is already having an email, and I'll just write here.
No.
Okay, so I click next. Now if you see, it is asking you to type the school domain. So if this is my school domain, see if I on Microsoft. Okay, we have already added. Okay, I already did it. So it is saying that it is already there. So this is how you can, this is a place where you will add your school domain here. So at the rate, you write your school domain.
Okay, we write the school domain. Okay, so
Yeah.
for example, at the rate it'll be teachers.teachers.edu.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, okay. And then under that, everybody can sign in and log in, the students and the teachers, or teachers still need to create a separate educator's dashboard?
No, the students can, they just have to share the flip code, and
Okay.
the students have to enter, you log in with their school domain, school email ID. Then it will allow them. Anybody trying to access, so even if you share the flip code to someone and they are trying to access the grid using from their Gmail account, it will not allow them.
Oh, okay. Okay. So only the ones who have access will be allowed.
Yes, with the same domain will be
With
allowed.
the same. Oh, okay. Okay. So like now, for example, I have created a grid, and I want to share that grid over here. So all the participants will be able to view that grid, or how is it that I can actually restrict few participants from viewing my grid?
Means you can give a password and share the password only
Okay.
with a few,
Few of
whomever
them.
you want. Yes.
Whose responses I want. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. Ms. Chaitali had a question. Yeah.
Can you share the videos on FB by taking the permission of the kids and parents?
I'm sorry, there is lot
She's
of
asking if she can we can share the video on Facebook by taking prior permission from the parents.
Yes,
Is that what you meant, Ms. Chaitali?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, actually, since this is video, you have to definitely take permission of parents before uploading. Otherwise, if you observe that, see, these are all, I had put all these smiley emojis on the faces of my students because I want to protect their privacy. So these are all not there in the video, like in the grid. It is like I have done it purposefully. So because to hide their identity, because I didn't take permission from the parents, whereas these are all my teachers. So I was able to show this grid openly. So you can take permission of the parents and you can share it.
Thank you, Rakhi ma'am. Thanks for allowing me to speak. Thank you, Ramya ma'am, for this wonderful session. My question regarding the school level thing was, is there a provision of an administrative level access where multiple classes and multiple teachers and their grids can be viewed over an umbrella account that can, typically oversee what's happening? Because typically, while the tool is great and awesome for a student-teacher relationship, the school is structured, from more administrative standpoint, where the principal would also, want to have a look. So in case that provision is there in the tool itself, that would be great. Otherwise, we'll have to, maintain it somewhere else as in
Yes,
form of multiple links for various classes to, track down the.
Yes, sir. Actually, I got your point. You want to see the topics that are posted by the teachers of your school so that you will have an understanding how it is being used by everyone.
True, and at the same time, I would also want to see how I structure it. So, for example,
Yes.
grade 6 has 7 subjects, and there are 5 different teachers who are teaching them those subjects. So, in that case, would there be 5 different grids that get created within the same login? So, I mean, I was thinking more from an administrator point of view.
Okay, sir, the grid creation, as you say, it is completely up to the creation of the, it's completely left to the teacher, how you want to create. For example, sir, I teach both 10th A and 10th B of my class, of my school. So both the sections I only handle, and there are only 2 sections. So what I will do, I will create one grid called grade 10, and then whatever topic I am posting, so I will post under the grade 10 grid, because I am only handling both the sections of grade 10. But if there are 2-3 teachers handling the handling different section, so in that case, as I told you, we will add co-pilot, and then we will enter the other teacher email ID also, so that both of us will work. So in your case, if you want, you can ask all the teachers, whoever is creating a grid or topic, they have to share it to your invite to you also as a co-pilot. So that way you will have an overview of all the grids created. Or you can also do this way, like grade 6 one grid, grade 7 one grid, and ask all the teachers to just add topics inside the grid.